What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Scrap Time. Once again, we're recording on Thursday because someone on the crew was unavailable on Wednesday, but that's all good. We're going to get it up for you guys before the matches start. And man, we have a great weekend of matches, a bunch of winners and losers bracket spots on the line, a bunch of teams confirmed about the winners and losers bracket that we're going to talk about, who either contenders or pretenders. So a lot to dive in today. As always, I have my esteemed cast. Going to start with the guy in the bottom left, getting ready for March Madness next week and COD. And a bunch of other stuff at the same time. My guy, Chelly. Chelly, you excited? We got Super Sports Weekend this weekend, and then next weekend, and then the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting a nice spring flow here.
We're stacked, and it's actually crazy. Dude. I feel like the major came pretty quickly. It's a week from today. We're recording on Thursday. But yeah, dude, March Madness, Call of Duty. We're hitting flow state right now. We got NHL coming down the wire. A couple teams fighting for their playoff lives in the regular season right now, and I mean, I'm peaking right now, and solo leveling's amazing.
You're not peaking.
Solo leveling, shout out. Oh, man.
Sam's bringing up something from Twitter, so I have a Twitter community, and I tailed 20 prize picks lineups from my Twitter community and went 0-20. Not one of them hit one, so got to think that's on me. You know, I got to be better. I got to be better. Yeah,
you gotta boot those. You gotta boot those 20 guys for sure.
I think you got to delete the com.
Up and Ben's got it up on the screen. Yeah, dude. So it was a tough break, but you know. On to the next one, as they say.
Just
right?
a bunch of idiots led by another idiot. That's crazy. I can't believe it.
What do you expect, right?
It's the same way over here. It's all good.
Cap, can you mute yourself in Ninja if you don't mind, real quick?
Oh, apologies.
Okay. Next up, we'll go with Cap, since he's now solved his audio double issues. Cap, obviously, the weather's getting a little bit better. I know your day job with the way the market's been has been not as fun the last couple of weeks, but you're still trying to find enjoyment elsewhere in your life.
I think I'm going back to school. I think I'm giving up on a day job because I don't have the stomach for the ups and downs of day trading.
Takes a special breed.
I don't know how Big Timer does it. He'll just sit there and be down hundreds of thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands, hundreds or thousands, and just just keeps it moving. Just doesn't even care. And I don't think I have the stomach for that.
Every day and walk up to a blackjack table, dude. I just couldn't. I can't.
There's something to it, but to be consistent. But I don't know. Might be too stressful for me. I might be chalking it.
All good. We'll support you in whatever way possible, Cap. But obviously, we'll keep having you here on the show. You are W Entertainment and a W friend.
No, you're not day trading anymore, Cap. You got to get the fuck off the show.
Yeah, I'm still doing it for now. But the long-term hopes, I think, are chalked.
Well, let's move on to Mr. Sam Octane. Sam, how you been? How's the rank play grind treating you these days?
It's just another day, another dollar, Benja. Same old, man. Getting hacked on. Everything's normal.
Surely they're going to fix the hacking problem eventually, right?
No.
Surely, right?
No.
I actually
did tune into your guys' stream. Well, your stream today, and it was just Skyline Hardpoint. It was just like
getting aimbotted.
I think it was all four of them, or at least three of them. I think one guy, his kill cam looked all right.
So we were getting aimbotted. Correct. And he said that I don't care. It's $5 to get an account. I said sure. It's March. It's fucking March. I don't give a fuck.
People are desperate, Sam. It is what it is. But other than rank play, like, how's your life been?
Pretty good. It's pretty just normal. You know, major's coming up, so that's cool. But I mean, kind of day to day. I'm not going to Texas, so excited to at least watch some land COD. Other than that, nothing eventful. Going to the gym, you know.
I appreciate the gym grind. That's typical, Sam. Staying healthy. Cool. Well, let's get into it, guys. I'm going to start off this week with a little bit of a standings peep because we're at the point now where winners brackets and loser bracket spots are confirmed, and I want to kind of give you guys a color on sort of who's fighting and who's sort of spending this week trying to iron things out for the events. We're switching over to this view. So all CDL teams this split will play 7 matches starting next split for majors 3 and 4. They will only play 5 a split. So the way it works out is that the top 8 teams make winners bracket. The bottom 4 do not. They will start in losers. Anyone with 4 or 5 wins is 100% going to be in winners bracket. They are mathematically sized. LA Thieves, Atlanta FaZe, Vancouver Surge, C9, and Toronto. Thieves is the only team that's got 5. Everybody else got either 4-1 or 4-2 on that. So that is 5 teams. You've got 2 teams at 3-2, Carolina and Minnesota in 6th and 7th. In 8th spot, you've got Miami Heretics at 2-3, Boston in ninth at 2-4. So those two teams are in. LAG somehow 1-4 at numbers 10th spot. I think mathematically is technically still in. But unfortunately, Vegas, Falcons, and OpTic Texas in 11th and 12th respectfully. 0-6 for Vegas, 0-5 for OpTic, or I'll eliminate from.
But did you say LAG is still eligible for winners?
I think if LAG were to double 3-0 both their matches, I think there's still a world that they get in.
What?
And they play Falcons and
This-
OpTic, I believe. So
Yeah.
Oh my God, LAG in winners bracket.
Does
I
Boston
think
play?
based on tiebreakers, it's still doable.
They would need
LAG.
Boston and Miami to get smoked.
Boston plays Miami, their final match.
Oh, this might not be possible.
And then Miami plays Carolina and Boston.
Not possible because one of Boston or Miami is going to win and have 3 wins.
But then it would be just in
Sorry,
terms of
LG.
it may be a 3-way tiebreaker though, and they may eat because it's a 3-way tiebreaker.
Oh, I guess if they double
crack it,
3-0,
yeah.
but fucking hell.
I'll talk to some smarter math people and determine. I'm pretty sure someone told me the LG is still in it, but it's like a 1% chance.
Benja, they play FaZe. I messed up. They play FaZe and OpTic, not
Oh, they're shocked.
LAG?
Yeah,
They're
LA.
shocked.
Oh.
Oh, then that's
Never mind.
GG's. Well, you never know. I mean, FaZe. We'll get to that, but I mean, they're
Actually, I
working on
won't
that
say
pool.
that. LAG did beat FaZe last year
No.
online.
But yeah, so there's 5 teams that are in already. Carolina plays Vegas, so you would think that they're basically in 6. So you basically have 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. So, all right, well, let's get into it. We're going to start with the matches on Friday. And this, I was saying this, Sam, before we started the show. This is going to be one of the better splits of Friday set that we have, where all 3 of these matches matter in different ways. So we got Toronto and Vancouver Surge. Both teams already qualified for winners bracket. Both teams looking to win the rematch from a few weeks ago. Thieves and OpTic Texas. Well, we'll get to that one in a bit, but maybe OpTic can generate some momentum in there. And then Carolina and Miami Heretics, a must win for Miami, but for Carolina as well. Don't want to have no momentum this week, and that could potentially be a matchup we see in either losers bracket or winners bracket. Potentially this event. Which one do you guys want to start with? Any preference, or want me to pick one?
for it.
Ultra Surge will be good.
Yeah, I'm down for Ultra Surge. So, the thread coming into this one, we've seen a lot of quality COD from Vancouver. Obviously, they made your minor 2 grand finals and just came up short against Thieves. Last week for them, got 3-0'd on Friday, but had a better showing against Miami on Sunday. And then for Toronto, a 3-1 against Vegas, a 3-0 against OpTic, but both teams not in a great spot. So this is the kind of test. And the last time these teams played, I'll pull up that match, was at the minor tournament, and Toronto had laid an absolute egg in the series. So I will start with you, Sam, since you wanted to pull this one up. Do you see a repeat of what I have on your screen from earlier this month, or do you think that there is a world where Toronto make this interesting?
I think it's gonna be a similar map set in the series because I don't think Toronto's made any progress map pool wise, and I think Vancouver's, Vancouver, they've been good since they made their roster change. So I think we're gonna see similar maps unless Toronto just views that 3-0 as like we can't play those maps again, which I don't think that's the case because there's 2 protocols and Vault Hardpoint, which they're pretty comfortable on. So I think if they end up playing any sort of repeat map pool here, I think that it's probably going to be a similar result in the series. I'm just more confident in the way Vancouver's been playing. Joe has been very good as of late. He's been fucking lights out, but I think overall I'm more confident in Toronto across the board in all game modes, especially on a map set like that.
Vancouver.
Sorry, Vancouver, yeah.
Don't worry, we make that mistake every show. It's all good.
Correct.
Chelly or Cap, you guys kind of agree with Sam's assessment?
Yeah, I mean, as long as Joe doesn't shoot bodies P1 of Vault first map, we should be in for a good series. I think that I don't know what happened there. He shot, I think it was Nep's body like P1.
That was
Vault.
nasties.
It was nasties. I'm
Yeah.
glad you remember Sam.
LA
Keep your
teaches.
tabs.
Oh,
Keep your
really?
tabs.
Yeah.
And then Joe drops a 0.73 for that series. So I expect this to be a map 5 ruler. I know a lot of people were high, and I'm still pretty high on Vancouver. But Toronto, again, like I feel like they're feeling pretty confident in the maps that they are good in. The square up on Vault's always going to be close with this Vancouver team. And then if it's a red card, again, like I don't give either team the edge in a red card hardpoint either. The biggest issue is that I think Surge pretty much, as long as it's not Vault control, which is ultra shit, Vancouver are going to take the control. So that already puts them back a map. So it's just you got to make up for one of the hard points in the search, but I do think this goes 5 for sure.
I just think it has to be protocol again because Vancouver don't really play Hasi other than the major final where they had to, or minor final because they have to, and they're going to veto vault. So I don't think there's any world that it's not protocol unless they want to play like an uncomfortable map for themselves. But that's why I said the map pool thing. I think it's going to end up being similar to what it was the first time they played.
Yeah, I agree because I just don't think Toronto's comfortable in Hasi. I think, although maybe they should dangle in this series, who knows? Vancouver's going to get rid of Skyline because it's Toronto's best map, and I agree with Sam. You just look at the rest of these. I think it kind of plays out the way that it should. It's just a question of with Toronto and Cap. I don't know if you agree all season. We just don't know against better team and better opposition what version of Toronto we get. The one that's sort of cleanly beaten bottom teams in the league this season, or the one that consistently lays eggs in these kind of matchups.
Yeah, I agree with the Vancouver side here. I don't even know if it's that close. These Toronto guys, I feel like they should be better than they are.
They 100% be better than they are.
Yeah, obviously, like Joe Fried in his last series versus OpTic, he's been playing pretty well overall lately. But like, they just don't put together like these well-rounded team performances. I feel like it just feels like very chaotic. Like one guy kind of has a good map to win it, and it's just not the teamwork you're looking for from a true top team. So I don't know. I think Vancouver's shown me a lot more. And I want Toronto to be good because I'm a big Joe DeCease fan, but they're still slightly disappointing for me.
I mean, they just haven't moved. They've been the same team all season. No. I mean, they've arguably gotten worse throughout the course of the year. Like their map pool is shrunk. Their search isn't as like basically 100% as it was to start the year. I feel like they've gotten worse arguably as the year's gone on.
I don't know if the problem is just the unbound schedule stuff. It's really hard to color Major 1 throughout a season, Sam, because you just don't know where teams are at. They
haven't improved.
Yeah, they haven't improved.
I would argue that they have gotten worse, but they definitely have not improved. They've been either the same team or a worse version of themselves for the whole year, I think.
I think for me, they looked like an elite search team going into Major 1, and then they just haven't been. And that's been the obvious game mode for me. That's like in matchups like this that I struggle to see. Because if I remember how this went, I think the protocol was close. But once again, Toronto lost another close one on what was like a go-to map for them. So we never got to Red Card S&D. But I just, Toronto's decently good at that map. But again, Vancouver makes good plays there. So I don't know. I think I agree. I don't think this will be a 3-0. But does anyone hear of Toronto or Vancouver?
I think the only world in which Toronto wins this series is like a crazy 1.3 from like Toby or Joe, like just pure hero play kind of series. Because like if it's team for team 1.0s across the board, I'm taking Vancouver for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Toronto the map 5 in this one just to be different, but I will say Vancouver hasn't been able to string it together like consistently. All 4 players playing 1.0 or above. Like there's always Nasty or 04 or one of the, I mean, they've been the 2 least consistent in my opinion.
Nasty's been gross.
Nah, I mean, he hasn't been able to.
Yeah. The last like
was
series
super hot.
Great.
It was super hot.
Roster change to minor. He was their second best player, but I think post minor, he's definitely like taking a step back for sure. But it's hard to maintain a 1.3 to be fair.
I think 04 still has another level to unlock. 'Cause I think he's a good player. I think he's really good, but he hasn't really shown it to like in these big matches as much. Like I'm saying
that for Abuza too.
Yeah, Abuza. I'm also saying based on like last year where I was like watching scrims every day. Like 04 impressed me a lot, and I was like, okay, it's his rookie year. Like obviously had some good moments last year. I was like, his rookie year, it's going to be up and down naturally. I was hoping this year would become more consistent. But I still think he needs to find his stride there. And I think he definitely, like I said, he has that next level to unlock, which to make this team even scarier.
I just think it's continuing to just learn how to play the hardpoint game. He was not a variant kid. He's definitely underexperienced compared to a lot of professionals in this game mode, but he's an impact player in S&D. And I think the minute that he figures out how to be a difference maker consistently in the mode, because if you watch his arrow, I think he makes good plays a lot in respawn, especially in hardpoint, plays for the win, the type of plays you want to get map control, get hill time, like not kill her plays. He just doesn't convert those sometimes. So, and I pulled up Nasty stats earlier because you guys were curious. He was obviously playing good at the minor, but just last weekend, just overall didn't have that good of a weekend by his standards. Neither match.
He has a good arrow though. Like that, Nasty's like kind of a player. Even last year when LAT wasn't playing super well, he always has a good arrow. Like he's very rarely doing like something detrimental for his team. I feel like he's always in the right spot doing the right thing. So like, even if he isn't a 1.3, I feel like he still has the right. Like he's in the right spot making the right play. Like he had a couple really important plays in their last series against Miami. Like the P2 vault comes to mind, as well as the round 5 control. So I mean the 1.3 is obviously ideal, but even if it's not, if he's not there, I still have faith in him to be doing the right shit for sure.
Well, cool.
Yeah, I wasn't calling out Nasty specifically.
Oh no.
I was just saying like they all need to play well. I haven't seen a series yet, aside from like the 3-0 series where they all drop above a 1.0, or they all kind of look.
A hard
I
thing
don't
to
know.
do.
Someone's always getting shit out. Yeah, I know. It's just
Someone's always in the sprints, dude. Someone's
the
always
thing
getting shit
for
on.
them now, and you guys probably agree, is Vancouver's not surprising anybody anymore. They're here.
No.
People know they're good. People they got a target on their back now. Yeah, they're already in winners bracket. They're gonna have a good seed for this tournament, but there's expectations that they're gonna make it deep on the weekend and be a factor.
Yep.
So we'll see how these players react. And I'm one squad to watch. Speaking of squads to watch, let's kind of go in order of the matches, I guess, on Friday. We got to talk about OpTic. 0-5, and they couldn't have drawn a worse game to play off the rip this week to try and get some kind of momentum for their home event. They're playing the LA Thieves team that have been an absolute flow now throughout all February and March. I'm curious what win streak Thieves are on. They've won 5 straight in this, and they won 3. So they're on, I think, an 8-game win streak at this point.
Including the minor, yeah.
Yeah, including the minor. They have barely dropped rounds in control and been pretty good in the other
21 to 3 in rounds.
I mean, does
Absurd stat.
does
Pretty
anyone see OpTic getting one in this, or is this another series where they just get 3-0-20?
Scrap said something last week during the watch party that blew my fucking mind. He thinks that this series is going to be close. I don't know why
I'm not
he said
surprised. Shotzi
but-
in his streams has been saying that their scrims have been like really close. He's like telling he literally he's like, oh, when we played Thieves,
that.
like
Against LA, against LA.
he's like
Yeah.
the map count was this, and then he like went through and did all the map counts in scrims against like Thieves and
oh my god,
FaZe.
he's breaking down map scrim counts to his chat. Holy fuck.
I'm always cautioning people against
Needs
that
to give him hope, you know.
Yeah,
You're all breaking on him.
because
That's hard. That's the worst thing you can do.
I've heard from 2 people that like OpTic has pretty good scrims. It's just
Everyone
I
has
guess
good scrims.
matches come, they're so in their own head.
Everybody has good scrims, man. As soon as
Listen.
that 30-second countdown ends in a match, they start fucking breaking.
I do feel like OpTic wins a map here, at least
Really?
one, maybe 2. I don't think they're winning the series, but I think they win a map. Bro, 0-15 is insane. Like,
Well, it's got to be a search or a hard point because there's 0 world in which they win a control.
I mean,
is there any world in which Thieves play some weird maps in this series? What do you guys think?
no,
What would be a weird
Like
map? I don't
map
know.
test?
Like Hassi's?
Yeah,
no.
but I don't even know if
think so.
OpTic's comfortable playing Hasi. OpTic's strategy this entire split has just been Vault City. They do that against Thieves, they're gonna get waxed. So they got to pick a different attack here.
I mean, protocol is going to be even worse for them. They got to play Hassi if they're going to go that route, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe
It's not even up to them. So
Steve's gonna probably still chip away at Skyline S&D maybe, but OpTic don't really like that map either. I'm just trying to think out if
OpTic
Thieves
don't
want to
play
do
it,
some of the vetoes. I mean, OpTic don't play a lot of maps right now, Sam. I'm not gonna lie,
Sure.
it's hard. It's
I
hard.
mean,
to,
that control auto veto, the protocol. So like Hassi could be in, but I don't know.
we can look at it this way. I'm gonna pull up. What Massive Thieves played this split? Let's see. They have the only map they
Lot of
played every
balls.
hard point. So if they want to get more reps up there on something like a protocol or Skyline, it's there. And on a search, they haven't played Proti S&D. They played every other map at least 2 times.
That's what I'm saying. They don't really have like a map pool. Like
Yeah.
we need to get reps on this kind of thing. I think this is a 3-0 through and through. I think this is a 15-minute series. Personally,
You guys agree with Sam?
Cap
We won.
said he doesn't. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think
Go ahead, Cap.
I just think OpTic steals a map somewhere. It's hard to go winless in map count, bro. It's like, especially for a team with this many good players. Like, I know people are expecting it now, but bro, this is like an insane run. This is
I think
It
they
has
get
to
their
end
one
at
the next match against LAG. I don't think they get one here.
I think they just get one here because no one expects it. Like,
That's fair.
and Todd's not like, it's not that black and white. Like, oh, best team in the league versus the fucking worst or second worst team in the league, whatever it is. Like, not that black and white. I think they just still won.
That's fair.
I think OpTic's gonna find a way to win one map in this. I think I think it's gonna be a search. It's gonna be a weird off search that Thieves just kind of trolled around, but I just don't see how OpTic gonna perform right now, especially Control. Find a way to win these respawns. I think the only way they can win one is if Thieves come out, because you guys know that happens. You get on, maybe you don't shoot straight, and that first map for Thieves is just they're just kind of not really in it. But we saw that with Miami. Miami played that red card hard point against OpTic, and they weren't playing 100% until OpTic find a way to lose that.
It's the worst map I've ever
From
seen.
plus position. So. Some of my
I
chats
think
at LAT.
they're fucked.
Some of my chats at LAT should play their absolute best maps. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, the most productive use of these this time is if there are specific maps or things that they want to get match reps on, they should pick. They shouldn't just pick their best maps and learn nothing from the series.
I don't think they're doing that against
Do
OpTic.
not
They're
do
not
that
gonna do
against
that.
OpTic, bro. If they do that against OpTic, they are faded.
I think they gotta be playing. It sounds dumb, but they gotta be playing for the win. Like forget testing maps.
Really?
Dude, you don't wanna be-
I don't think it
I
matters as
don't-
much as you guys think.
I think
You don't
in
wanna
this
be that
specific
team-
instance,
You don't want
I
to be
don't
a
think
team that
there's anything to
loses,
test, but
especially when you're LAT against OpTic. You don't want to be a team who loses to them.
Mm-hmm.
Gives them confidence,
Yep.
especially when you're LAT.
yeah, just like step on the throat kind of thing.
JKaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
You don't want to be the team that trolls and then gives OpTic a little bit of mojo back. It's probably so nice to not have to worry about them, especially
player,
in
yeah,
as a
probably.
player. Yeah, dude, it's probably so nice. They probably want to stomp on their throats. Good point.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see when the map set comes out for that, but I'm telling you, scrap map 1.
Can't wait to see that protocol control veto from OpTic.
Take the more on that.
Not that it would matter against LAT, but
Yeah, let's move on. The last match on Friday, I would say it's a must-win for both teams, but Carolina has Vegas left, so I think they're probably making winners bracket. Is
I will
this
secure
one?
my 5 gifted.
We've seen this matchup a couple of times this year. Obviously, most famous series against these two was at LAN and Major 1. But both teams are in different spots now. Miami has got a real struggle now in the remaining 2 matches to try and qualify for winners bracket. And Carolina been a little bit up and down this stage, but based on last weekend, if I scroll down here and show you their last couple of series, they had a pretty good clean one against C9 on the weekend, last weekend. As you see for Miami, they 3-0'd OpTic, but 1-3'd by Vancouver. So I think my question to the group is obviously Miami's had the better of this matchup so far this season, but do we really think Miami are going to show up this one? Like, are they just full-on pretenders this stage, or has anyone here got any confidence in Miami grabbing some momentum here and backing into winners bracket? Anyone want to take the first one on that before I start calling names?
I mean, this is a weird one. Oh, sorry, Cap.
No, you go.
This is a weird one because I feel like the hard points that Miami are good at, Ravens are bad at, and vice versa. Like, it kind of just depends what maps get in here. With that being said, I don't see like Miami's search fall off has been crazy recently. Their control, they can't win at control. Like, that's a huge problem, especially against a Ravens team who are pretty solid at control. And then, I mean, Ravens just need to take one hard point from there. The series, I don't see Miami having a shot in this series personally.
Last 60 days, Miami 3-11 in control, and I'll actually show you guys
Are all 3 on vault.
their S&D their control stats. 7-12 on the season. 6 of the 7 wins are on vault. The remaining maps 1-10 on protocol.
You know who
and
played them on
Aussie.
vault? Everybody.
So, Cap, go ahead. Thoughts on what Chelly said? Unless you got some other thoughts on the overall question too.
I got Carolina here. Got the question? Blacked
Yeah,
out.
I mean, do you think Miami and their
Was
current
there another
form-
question?
No, it's just really the thing we've asked for Miami. They got a good place in
Yeah.
Major 1, but we all expect them to fall off. And
I said at the time, I think we all kind of agree. I think Major 1 was the peak of Miami season. So far, they're making us look very smart. I don't know. I think because we just look, there are other matches against LAG. I think they take care of business against LAG to make winners, but I think this is a loss to Carolina, and they're gonna have to sweat it out for another day. Yeah, I still not. Someone in your chat said I'm still not a believer in Lucky and Metals. I think Real and Rancor can be so good with 2 players.
Agreed.
yeah,
I feel like a broken record, but like seeing 2 players like those guys who are playing so well, clearly have the talent to maybe win tournaments one day, maybe not this year. They're still
They're
young.
good, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they're,
They're
like,
good. They're
genuinely
legitimately
very
very
good.
good. You can tell watching those 2. And then it just seems like their other 2 teammates just aren't to that level. It's like it's almost frustrating to watch sometimes. So
I agree.
Listen, what I will say to the Miami ownership group is there has never been a better time to start seeding the ways in which you can make a really good quality mixed team with Rail and Core next season. Because these are two guys that are absolute playmakers, takeover players, absolutely frying some of these top pros in series. And I think we'll hold Zorg back, and we all agree is just sticking with the region lock thing. There's a lot of real potential here. Bringing Super in might help them be more consistent this year, but man,
I want him to get away from it, bro. I'm 100% with Cap. Like you could playing against them. I can't speak to because I haven't really other than Real, but Rancor and Real are like genuine shooters. Watching their arrows, dude, Rancor I think has one of the best arrows in the league, and I'm not bullshitting. Like the way that guy hits timings and like takes space on the map is something that you really don't see too often nowadays with the way that people play. But Rancor like actually has a fucking fantastic arrow. And I hope and pray, even though I don't think they're going to do it, I think they're going to keep doing the Spanish thing. They could make a very good mixed team, genuinely. If they are willing to spend like a little bit of cash and get like mid-pack, like upper mid-pack NA talent for their team, for a mixed team, they could be like a top 4 contender, genuinely. I think they're that good.
Doesn't Purge speak Spanish?
So I said mid to upper. Mid.
No, those guys speak good English though. Like they play, like to Gringo in my chat pointing out, like these guys are in 8s every night and they get picked pretty
they're
high.
grinders.
So
No, they're
I
grinders.
think a lot of pros are also starting to see that that's an option they can start to get in there, but it just comes down to management there. But
They're grinders for sure.
anyway, that should be a fun one. Let's move on to Saturday's matches. Not as good as Friday, but there are a couple of heaters here potentially. I'm going to go to the 4 and then we'll dive into some in particular. Miami and Boston, a must win for both teams, both sitting with 2 wins right now. Boston only with 1 remaining. It's their last match of the split. Thieves and Minnesota. Minnesota, once again, in a position where if they play their cards right this week, can make winners bracket, or they can toss like they did in Major 1. We'll see. Carolina, Vegas, snoozer. An LAG phase should be a snoozer, but we'll see the face throw that one. I want to probably start with Thieves Rocker. Assuming the Thieves come off of that win against OpTic, they'll be 6-0 in this one. This might be the series where they might, kind of round some things out. Do you think there's maybe a chance where Minnesota gets their 4th win in this one, or are they going to have to wait till Sunday to see if they're in or out of winners bracket?
I think their Minnesota's win con here is Thieves giving them Vault to try to play it.
Yeah.
I think that's their only in right now. If Thieves veto triple Vault, then I have them winning for sure. But if they leave it in just to try to get a good rep on good Vault teams, I wouldn't be against it personally. But I think that's Rocker's really only win con here.
That's where I was going to bring up. Do you guys agree with that? That's really it. I don't see any other way that Minnesota beat them on like protocol heavy series or red card where Minnesota's 1-5 right now in hardpoint.
yeah,
Good take, Ben. Like seriously, I can't even argue that.
Yeah, great take, Ben.
They're very map dependent.
Wasn't even my. Was it okay? Damn,
Take
Sam.
that.
Damn,
You're
Sam.
so
You're not even
smart.
getting
No,
your
no,
credit.
but Sam
Ben,
said
you're so
Vault,
smart.
Sam
Ben,
said
God, you're
Vault,
so
and Ben
wise,
said
Ben. You're
Protocol.
so smart. Oh
Bro,
my God.
not even giving Sam any fucking credit.
You're
for
so
this
fucking
thing.
smart.
You guys piggybacked. Sam said, "Don't give him Vault HP," and then Ben said a Protocol heavy series would be
Yeah,
detrimental.
no, that's
to
why I
Thieves.
said Ben's so smart. That's why I said that.
I deserve 0 gas for this. Give it a fucking Sam, bro.
But no, that's the only win con I think for Rocker. I think LAT is in full flow state right now as a team.
This is just like when you're a team like this, Sam, and your Thieves, it's like this is just a weird match because it doesn't mean anything to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what is the difference between 1st and 2nd seed really? You don't want to
Wanna go
lose,
7-0.
but like
Every match means something.
every
Yeah.
match, but the it's less about the win and more of like if there's boxes that we need to check before we leave and drive across
I
town.
don't think
to this
there's
event.
any. I don't think there's any boxes they have other than like maintaining what they're doing. There's nothing that they can point to. I think in their camp right now and identify as a weakness. It's more of like everything that we're doing is correct as a team. We just need to make sure we keep doing what we're doing. I don't necessarily think there's like we're poor at the control map here. We're like bad at rotating, which they're the best team in the league at. Like they just have to. When you're playing like the best team, you have to just keep it up. That's all it is. There's no we have to work on this, and this. It's just doing it. So I think that's why like the seeding isn't super important, but the way that you play in these matches is like they want a 3-0. They want a 3-0 Rocker. Like Cap knows Dill. He wants to go out there and fucking have a 10-minute series. So I think that should be their mentality for sure. Now,
You're a
could they test
competitor,
map
bro.
pool?
You always-
Well, sure.
Yeah.
you always want to win. Like there is a time and place to test some maps, but like you ultimately you're gonna be pissed if you lose. You know, you don't want to
Especially
give
Dill.
you don't want to give teams a chance.
Yeah, like obviously inside info here, but the way that Dill is, like he wants to slam everybody all the time. There's no room for like map pool or anything like that as an excuse. He wants to beat the fuck out of everybody as fast as possible all the time.
Well, I assume that's the MO of everybody on that team. They all have that kind of
Probably
similar personality. Like
I would assume so. Yeah.
they're chasing that art. So Thieves in a great
Can I-
spot. Go ahead.
Wait,
go
real
ahead,
quick, Ben. Can I bring up something that Patrick Akes brought up on the flank that I think we need to discuss? He said that Paul X needs to be dropped from this team like yesterday, last week, like he should have been long gone. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I personally don't agree. I think Paulie's still he's been picking up a little bit as of late, but then he kind of has those series where he does not hang. I mean, to put it best. But what do you guys think on that? Because he was really pushing that, and I don't know if I don't.
Are we
agree with
letting
that.
Pat claim my Tyler Fellow take?
I was about to say this
Are
is a
we letting
Sam
Pat
take from
steal
Longo.
my Tyler Fellow take from a month ago? Is that
I
what's
think
going
Fellow
on?
makes too much sense for this team for Paul.
Is that what's going on right now?
What do you mean too much sense? Wait, Cap.
insane.
Like I think you have 3 players who are young, but all clearly talented, who would probably benefit a lot from someone like Tyler, who is a vocal leader and also holds his own. Whereas Paul, I don't think really has that vocal leadership qualities, and he's not holding his own as much. I think Fellow is just the perfect fourth with those other 3 guys.
Yeah, T Fellow makes sense here. My take.
Really?
I think,
so you agree with Pat?
Yeah, because I don't think that their roster currently is going to get over the next hump. And I'm not saying that Tyler Fellow is going to go drop a 1-2, but I think that he does everything that Paul does, but better. And I think that he's dropped on a challengers play with so many players and like been consistently good. And I know Tyler as a player, and I've been around him enough throughout the years to know that he knows how to play with like new people. He knows how to curate a system. Danny's coaching there. Obviously they can work together. This is no knock on Paul, but I just don't think that you have that much talent on the team with Gio, Nero, and Estriel. I think you need someone to help direct them a little bit. Their map pool hasn't really improved throughout the year. Paul's still inconsistent in respawn. He hasn't been good enough in search like he was touted at the beginning of the season to really be like, if we drop him, we're going to get worse in search specifically. I think Tyler checks every box that Paul checks, but has the ability to bring them to the next level, in my opinion.
Their map stats outside of Vault is actually disgusting.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's their
23 and 38 if you take out Vault.
Yeah, I'll pull a bunch of streams so people can see.
If you just veto triple vault against this team, it's almost a guaranteed win. It's insane.
Yeah.
17-3 on Vault, and if you combine all the other active maps, they are 21 and
23 and 38.
37. So yeah, no, it's they have a very small kind of margin for error here. And I'll be honest, I see where you're going, Chelly. You know, I think Paul is giving it a go. I think this team is just unique in the fact that they really, because of Estriel and Giro and Nero and where they're at and what they bring on the map, the team really needs leadership. And Paul's in that role right now. And there are some obvious players who bring that same quantity and maybe some more slaying consistency. Fellow, maybe Caesar Skies, that they might explore after this major. So unfortunately, at the moment, the way that Paul's playing, Chelly, I do think that unfortunately it's on the table, depending on how the next few weeks goes. It just is what it is. Rocker got to try and make winners bracket, bro. Like they got to
They
try and
have
make
a
winners
good
bracket.
team. They just need
Caesar's
they just got to be
not a bad
proactive.
shout.
Caesar's not a bad shot at all.
I don't
He
love
can't play until Major
Caesar.
four.
I think he's pretty slow on the map, but he's not a bad shot for this
So that's
team.
not
also.
entirely true, Sam. I think that I talked to Caesar.
Well, he said it was a 2-month termination.
So I gotta be careful. So I think that if a team wanted to pick Caesar up, I think that they could very easily have a conversation with gentlemates, and I think terms would get agreed upon with not that much fuss.
Oh, you're saying, okay, yeah, he's an entire free agent in 2 months. But yeah, something could happen prior to then, yeah. For sure. But yeah, I mean, I just want them to be proactive because I think that they have like an insane trio with Gio, Nero, and Estriel. I think their team's insane.
Yeah, I think they can level up a little bit because right now, looking at the standings on the season, Rocker are in 7th, but actually, sorry, this is full. They're 7th in the actual standings, but they're only 15 points away from OpTic Texas, and Boston and C9 are very quickly climbing this ranking. So like, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't wait and wait and wait, and then you don't make
I'm saying you
champs.
got to be proactive.
So we shall see.
Let's
Go
not
ahead.
forget, I have this team winning a major.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
psycho
you
for
do,
that.
Chelly.
You're a psycho
Yes,
for
you
that.
do.
Dude, I'm
They're gonna
telling you,
honeymoon their
bro.
way to a major.
This team, if they get delusional on land, you got Nero, Geo shooting nukes, Estro making all the right plays.
Delusional on land.
Yeah, what makes these guys delusional on land?
JKap, I don't need to sell you on it, bro. Come on.
I was trying to be sold. I want to be sold.
Cap,
but
you know, bro. Like,
Cap,
you know they
just-
get delusional,
bro.
bro. Like, this is doable.
they're
Man.
just such animals. They're just,
such
it just
animals.
happens.
Synonymous. Nero, synonymous with land.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay. I
Not
love
saying he's
Nero.
bad
I
on
mean,
land.
you know,
Not saying he's bad on lands for the joke.
he did make that.
Nero's very
A
good.
certain play last year on land that was not ideal.
My bad. Invasion S&D.
But I think the Rock guys can figure it out. I think that they are also a dark horse if it clicks the right way for them in an event. But I don't know. They might need a rest change. Let's move on. I'm going to bounce around a little bit. We're going to talk about the last match on Saturday. LAG, Atlanta FaZe. This one shouldn't be a close series. But, you know, FaZe, their last match against Boston, you argue they probably should have lost. And LAG...
FaZe lets bad teams hang around, man.
They do, and I think in particular, Sam, where I wanted to go with this is go ahead and pull up FaZe's S&D stats to split. I'm going to scroll all the way over to the right so you can see
They're
their
like 2-7 or something, right?
major 2 stage.
They're like 2-7, 1-6.
They're
something like that.
3 and 5 now. Mind you, 3 of those
Yeah, there you
losses
go.
are to Vancouver, but they didn't look that great on the search on the last weekend. But you see, like the other game modes are still pretty good. Their respawn's in a fine spot. Including this 3-0
Are
and
they playing-
Vault Hardpoint, which is a big turnaround from where they were at in stage 1. So I'll start with you, Sam. Like, what do you think's going on with their S&D from what you've seen so far this season? This stage.
I think it's kind of just ebbs and flows. We've seen it for what, a year and a half now at this point. Even with the trio prior to Zach joining, I think they just have ebbs and flows in search where their mid rounds are like really, really good or really, really poor. I don't necessarily think that it's like you can pin it to one thing, but that's kind of searches in general. Like sometimes you'll just hit a point in the season where your mid rounds in search like always seem to be correct, and then you'll wake up one day and then they're not anymore. So I think they're kind of just like valuing right now in that way. I also think that some of the ways that they play breakoffs in search I don't love. You kind of, I think it was it you that said on the flank the other day, they just have this tendency to spread, like do the slasher spread play for picks, but they don't do anything with the info. They kind of let the rounds draw out and they themselves then get picked based off the info, or they try to do too much and like over rotate and get too cute with it and die. That's like a Hossie specific issue, but it kind of bleeds out into their other maps like Vault as well. So I don't know. I think when Tyler isn't getting bloods the way that we're used to, it becomes a 3v4 super quick. I think it's just kind of a valley situation for them right now. I think I'll expect it to turn around by the major, but I don't really think it's one like crazy thing right now as a problem for them in search.
Yeah, just to show some stats, you know, these are the stats from the first major tournament, and you see that, you know, Abe and Simp went absolutely off in search. Insane Katie's obviously limited series because they were at land, but see the KPRs, like how active they were in rounds. And you look at this qualifier so far, and yeah, Simp's still doing his thing. That's why Chris is still in the MVP conversation, but you see that Tyler has struggled to have exactly the same impact in the game mode. And that's why I think, Sam, like, I was joking with Simp last weekend, like that Hossie S&D looked really awkward with the way they were playing it. I think they got
their offenses were bad. I didn't like the way they were playing their offenses.
They're really good. Listen, they have. I will say this, like they're good at these scrimmy maps. You know, Vault S&D, Skyline S&D, these just weird ass maps that don't kind of spread play for picks, like that are bang outs that require them to play quick. Like nobody does it better at times than that.
The red cards and the Hossies.
It's the slower maps where right now, to your point, like people have VOD on them. They're starting to figure out how they play. They got to continue to innovate on their side to match that. Get Tyler in good spots. Get Simp in good spots. Zach and MC will work lanes, get first bloods occasionally, follow up, get trades, post plants. I think they'll be fine, but right now, if FaZe are in a spot where they don't do well at this major, I think S&D is going to be the game mode. That probably is the reason why they didn't.
If they carry this search and destroy form into the tournament, I think LAT wins it with relative ease. But I expect their S&D to turn around by the major, to be honest. I think they usually, I expect them to turn it around. I think they'll be fine.
Cap and Chelly, any other additional thoughts from you guys?
FaZe, man. I ain't got
Not really.
bad.
LAT is dirt shit. We didn't talk about them. Those guys are fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's the issue with the series.
Fucking, those guys are
I
terrible.
feel bad for Kismet. I want to put that out there. I think he's
How about
good.
for Lunars?
I feel bad for Lunars to an extent because he doesn't have like a true good opportunity, but that guy also doesn't look good at all. So
I
Kiz,
don't know. He's had his moments, but like, yeah, he's not like, oh my god, 4Ps.
he looks really slow when I've watched.
This
And-
is
I don't know.
this is a dysfunctional team, and I won't be surprised if it comes out after the season that there's dysfunction amongst the players, dysfunction amongst how that group coordinates with ownership. Like, just the whole vibe of this thing feels like completely off, and the way that former players or players have addressed things on stream, like, it just feels like, just based on intuition and what I know and been around for a while, that this is just not an ideal situation. It's gonna be another bad split for them, and it's just really difficult to see how this team qualifies for champs. I'm just curious to see post this event, because they're probably getting dead last. Like, what do they do to switch it up, right? Caesars.
I have a question.
Yeah,
They
go
make
ahead.
their little roll swap.
I think we all agree that Preston, Caesar, whoever the fourth's been, obviously it's Preston now, but they've not been good. Do you guys rate Linz at all?
No.
Okay.
He's on an AR now. I don't even know what to fucking.
Oh yeah, I
read.
guess.
Forgot about the
They
roll
made a
swaps. there.
swap.
roll swap for last series, which I don't even think. I mean, I like it because it slows him down and doesn't let him make like as many terrible plays as he has been. But he looked better. Granted, it was Falcons, but
Falcons, yeah.
Yeah,
he looked better. He was making better decisions.
issue
regardless
is
of what team he's
weekend
playing.
more of a test.
The issue, and I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I feel like I'm always saying that, but Preston can't run a sub. Like, he can't, bro. Like, the way you need to play sub in this game, you play fast, in their face, slang, and even against Falcons, P-Dog was just playing kind of like he stole the AR out, but he was just holding the sub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
I don't disagree with you, but I think they're just trying to find a band-aid fix when the Hoover Dam is cracked down the middle. They're trying to put duct tape on that bitch, and there's nothing they could do is going to get it to work.
I was asking because my theory was that if we did rate Linz at all, I think we all agree Kismet's their best player, an overall good player in the CDL still. And I was going to say, if that's the case, that they have those two then and Lunars, who, like, if he was good, they shouldn't be as bad as they are. Like, there's no way one man, Preston, who's underperforming, obviously not been good. There's no way one guy is holding them back that badly. They would have looked better if they did have three good players.
Well, I've been watching. Well, Caesar joined the watch party not last week, but the week before, and we were watching them, and he was giving me like a little bit of insight to how they were playing situationals and stuff. Like, he was talking about scrims and like ideal setups for breaks, holds, whatever. I think it was their Hossie specifically we were watching, and he was saying like the things that, if he was in the game, that they should be doing. And he's like, oh, in scrims we should do this, and in scrims we should do this. Like, we do this every time, and then you get to a match, like, he was like, why the fuck are they doing that?
Yeah.
Classic.
It's perplexing because you watch them in a game and they're all doing dumb shit, and then I have a literal player on the team telling me that in scrims they do the right play all the time. They know exactly what to do, and then the match loads up and they just lose their heads. It's kind of like OpTic. So I don't know what to think of the LAG team. Watching their arrows in matches like actually makes me so fucking angry because they're just lost. Like, Kiz is doing his best to bail out just fucking terrible plays. The Hossie hardpoint that I'm referencing, there was like a P3 rotation that was terrible. I think there was something with the P2. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's just so many situationals, specifically with respawn. We won't even talk about the S&D woes that they have, but there's just so many respawn inconsistencies and just like making the play that's in front of them, and I just don't know why they just can't for the life of them. It doesn't matter the talent that you have on your team. Like, Preston could drop a 0.6, but at least sometimes he knows what to do. Linz could drop a 1.2. Sometimes he doesn't know what to do. It's just the inconsistencies that this team has, top to bottom, is just fucking crazy to me.
It's a mess, and again, it's a question to them at this point. Like, they are so far out of the champs race, just to show the standings again. Like, they are sitting at 30 points, 4-12 on the season. The one win they got recently at the minor didn't count for points because of the format of that event. So they're right now 55.
Well, their only wins are a fake C9 and Falcons, right?
Yeah, so they're only 55 out of 8 spot now because a couple of teams are turning gears. But 55 is a lot of points to overcome. There's no more minors left. So in order to do this, they'd have to be stellar online the next two splits.
They're not going to champs.
And they would have to basically get top 4 at least one of these
I was
events.
going to say, they would need a great major run.
So
They're not going.
it's just, I don't see a New York subliners back-ended run situation happening here. I just think then it becomes like, how do you want to use the next 4 months productively to like build something?
He's got to go, man. He's got to go somewhere and make a team a lot better. And The crazy part is of all of this is that if Kiz wasn't on this team, it would have got blown up to smithereens so long ago. But Kiz is the only thing holding this team together by a thread. And I actually think Linz and Kiz could be a really good sub duo. Like Kiz makes
Disagree.
a lot of disagree. That's
Yeah, go ahead, Cap.
I don't think Linz is the guy. I think Linz, I don't know. He hasn't shown me anything. I've seen and I've heard that he is just simply not a smart player.
Me.
Straight
I'm
up.
saying it. It's me. It's heard it from me.
I've heard it from more sources who will remain anonymous. Although I do trust your opinion. But I've heard just a lot of things that just his future, the idea of like building this team around him for the French fans, the French ownership, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to hold him back. I think if you're serious about wanting to put together a competitive team, Kiz is your guy. You work from there. But if you really want to go with this French route, then and you want to build around Linz, then get Cobra on the team, let Kiz go somewhere else.
Speaking of which, did you guys see his round 11 1v4 he had the other day?
Yeah, you haven't pulled up.
yeah,
It shows
yeah.
gross.
Dude, what the fuck?
What was it, the third guy? I don't know what the third guy was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Blackout and ammo.
Second and
but
third was completely missed the grade.
insane. But regardless, I agree with you, Kev.
Yeah.
I had to find the clip here.
Yeah. Mainly my point is that Kiz did a great job of activating Paco and kind of just letting Paco roam the map. And I think that was what their plan was for Linz.
But Paco is.
Listen,
I understand I'm comparing Linz and Paco.
No.
I'll throw it out there.
I think you're comparing them skill wise. I'm gonna talk about their head game. I think Paco is like Paco. I'm not bullshitting. I've played against him for a couple of seasons, and now I've watched him for 2 seasons. That kid is legitimately one of the smartest Call of Duty players I've ever seen in my life.
His timings are insane.
Legitimately, no gas intended. I'm not exaggerating at all. I think he is one of the smartest COD players I've ever seen. And I will give New York their flowers for playing around him the way that they did and enabling him to do what he was doing with unbelievable talent. But Paco's timings and understanding of respawn, even search, he's been great in search recently, but his understandings of what he can do and cannot do and the limit testing that he can do without like a gimmick, no crazy movement. He doesn't obviously has an insane shot, but it's not the straightest shot you've ever seen. He just has insane knowledge of the game in every single situation. It's fucking crazy. So again, I will, Chelly, to your point, I will tip New York for setting them up the way that he did. But I think Paco is like a large part of that. And to double down, the fact that they tried to catch lightning in a bottle again with Linz, terrible fucking decision for their roster. Terrible fucking
Not double down. It was dumb as shit.
I think, listen, if you're LEG management, this like half and half thing is just kind of a pointless way to use the next 4 months because you're realistically not going to make champs. But if you get a team in a good spot, EWC could be interesting to build towards next season. So like, do they, Caesar's already they figured out the separation there. They try something with Kiz. Obviously, you'd probably draw Preston as well. And then you just try and build a French squad around Linz and you just sort of see how it goes with some NA practice over the next few months. Maybe they go that route, but this is the time to do it. There's not that much time between Major 3 and Major 4, only a couple of days. So if they're going to blow it up and try something else, it's going to be in like 10 days. So.
I'll throw out one idea. If OpTic does flame out this event, I do think they need a 2-person change.
Yeah.
You're going to say Kiz is one of them?
I think Kiz would be a great compliment to Shotzi.
I agree.
But I don't think Shotzi or Dashy ever get dropped at this point, which means Kenny and Pred would be gone. I think Kiz fits Shotzi great. I don't know what they would do for Ken. I don't know, but I think that makes a ton of sense if OpTic does not get their shit together within the next week or 2.
The search gets way better with picking up Kiz.
OpTic Kiz that would be sick.
The search gets way better with Caesar and Kiz. Way better. You have Caesar and Brandon, 2 of the best historically, the best clutch players the last couple of seasons on the team. You have Kiz, who's a good route taker and Surge combo with Ant. Like it would be a really good rebuild on their squad of being S&E focused. Got to build some respawn cam with that squad, but they'd be a very difficult team to take out in long series. So
I think the ARs get a little weird with Caesar and Brandon. I know Caesar's talked about using becoming a flex, but that's like a recent development. He hasn't used the sub for a little while, especially last year as well. So I think that if you're talking search, but respawn, I think you encounter a little bit of issues just for the pace which this game needs to be played, I don't think that dynamic works very well, personally.
It will be tricky, but we'll talk more about the roster changes eventually when we get there. We got 2 other matches. I don't know if we need to spend too much time on both of these. Miami, Boston. I guess. I mean, we're all have now spent too much time talking about Boston on this podcast.
Weeks ago.
I just don't.
Like
I don't know. I mean, I think Miami should win this. Do you guys think Boston have a chance or no?
I think they have a chance. They took FaZe game 5. Do I think that they win it? No, I think
There's
Miami
always a
win 3-1.
chance. These mid-pack, below mid-pack teams.
I think Miami wins pretty comfortably.
Bro, Tommy,
yeah.
we're gonna get to your power play at the end of the show. Enjoy the entertainment, Tom. We got to talk about Sunday matches, and then we do Chelly's best bet at the end of the segment.
Don't ask Chelly about his
And a
power play,
community-
brother.
Whoa.
0 for 20
Oh,
is
for 20
crazy.
yesterday is
Don't
crazy,
bring
but we'll get there at the end of the
Chelly
show,
about
Tom.
his
We'll get there at the end of the
power
He's
show.
in a bad place right now.
Oh,
Don't
for
bring my
20?
community into it.
Don't
Don't bring
for
my
validation from 0 and 20.
I
Nah,
do want
Tom's
to
card
say
be
that
choosing my chat. Go ahead.
my favorite prize pick square is in this series, and it's
Ooh.
Gigawake map 1 kills. You could take his 1 through 3 as well, but I mean, yep, I'm all the way back in on Wake. He's playing for his job.
He has been playing well lately.
He's been
He
frying,
has been
bro.
playing well.
He's moving on the map. I don't know what's going on, but I'm back, bro. Gigawake's frying. He's shooting. He's twisted. He's tweaking. He's YYing just as much as Kenny. Zuma, you're a fucking moron. No, I'm joking. He's tripping me in chat.
A smart moron. What the fuck does that mean?
smart
moron.
What the fuck? I never heard. What does a smart moron mean?
I don't know, man. But
My
yeah,
God, bench
anyway.
crashing.
And just fell out.
Bench
No,
crashing.
get back on
Dude,
topic.
wait,
Sorry.
you guys actually are
Black
giving
man.
Boston a chance in this series?
No, of
That's
course they do.
crazy.
They have a chance. I'm trying to remember
We
if they
all said
played
they have a
this year.
chance. I said they went game
Okay.
5 with FaZe.
Okay,
Put words in my
okay. Ben
mouth.
J made it sound like you guys were gonna no brainer.
They played once this season, and Boston beat them in a game 5, and they beat 2 searches. So they took 2 searches against Miami. Map 1, map 2, and map 5. But I think it's potentially doable. I just don't know, bro. The problem is Miami, as much as we hate on them, are still a good respawn team, and Boston, as we have talked about, cannot slay consistently in respawn right now. So it's just gonna rely on Boston to get good performances. They played better against FaZe. I will give that. I think Boston showed up to play FaZe really well on Sunday. It just didn't result in them winning that series because, again, when they got in a winnable position, they tossed, and I don't know. It's just until I see more consistency from Boston, I just can't pick them in a 50-50 like this.
Agree.
But they're only plus 130, so the books think that it's a pretty close.
That's because of that game 5 phase.
So it is what it is. And then the other match, and we don't need to talk too much about it, Vegas versus Carolina.
Snoozer 3-0.
I will say, interestingly enough, before we started the show, someone in my chat, and I didn't pull it up, that Kix was playing in some local activity that was being streamed, like some Saudi esport league thing going on. So Kix is playing local there. So I don't know what's up with that, but he seems
Was
to
it
be
assumed he just wasn't playing COD since he stepped down?
We just haven't heard. It's been radio silence. No one knows
Yeah.
anything.
No.
They announced that he was going home, and then there hasn't been a single word as to what he's been doing or anything like that since.
Interesting.
He was playing in the Saudi league as trash, but he's frying there. Well, it's just their region's not developed, but all right. Well, I mean, hopefully Kix can come back, but yeah, I think Vegas loses this one. What's their odds right now? Let's take a look.
Minus 10 billion.
Plus only plus 1,000 in house bets, but C9 minus 10,000, or is Carolina, sorry, minus 10,000, not real value there for folks. But
Cap, I know you joined the watch party call during the Falcons series, bro.
I was sad, bro.
They should have won.
I was-
That was
bro.
the JKap
HB,
Bowl,
Yeah,
bro.
they
That
I
was
was
the JKap Bowl.
preaching that was the day they get a win against LAG. They should have been up 2-0.
Yep.
The JKap Bowl.
And now they're
Fuck
going
it.
winless. Now I'm pissed at them. 'Cause
Do they have another LAG? They might have another LAG.
they're
Uh,
not going to win it. That was their chance.
they-
LAG's going to get slightly better at some point.
Oh my
they
god, Falcons on
they do
land.
not play LAG again this season.
They're not going to win a series this year.
Okay, these are remaining matches. These are
Yeah, I
remaining
think it's
matches.
cooked.
Give me
They-
winnable ones, Ben. I don't care about all of them. Give me winnable
Miami,
ones.
Boston, Major 3 qualifier. Minnesota, Miami, Major 4 qualifiers.
So they have to beat Miami.
They have to play FaZe twice.
Got it.
I
Thieves.
guess Boston's winnable too.
Yeah.
They got to beat Miami, dude. Fuck. Nah, they're not going to win a series this year. They're going on.
Oh man.
Bro,
these guys.
I'll bring something else up too. I gotta pull up a sheet. So when the
They're going
season
on, man.
started, I did this thing that I always do, where I go through the schedule and make like a chart of who everybody plays and how often they play them. because of the unbalanced schedule. And I'll need to zoom this out. But right there, Vegas. Actually, sorry, this is for last season. This is this season. Vegas played 2 teams 3 times because I was curious if anyone would get like an extra free win against Vegas that might put them over in the season. FaZe played them 3 times. I don't think it's gonna be a difference between FaZe making winners bracket or losers bracket or fucking making top seed. But Miami get an extra match against Falcons. So if Miami wins by 10 points to get in the 8th seed over the 9th seed, all I'm saying
Bucks.
All I'm saying is they got some extra Falcons buck that everybody else didn't get. That's all I'm saying. All right, we'll move on. That is the matches on Saturday. We should have a good understanding. This should be most of the winners bracket spots opened up. But it's possible that for Minnesota, who are playing on Sunday, that they may be in a position where they need to either take some maps or win against Vancouver Surge. Other matches that are also happening on Sunday. The first one is LAG against OpTic, and then C9 versus FaZe. I want to start with LAG versus OpTic, and just kind of get your guys' thoughts on who you think is going to win this series, starting with you, Chelly.
Oh man, Ben.
Does OpTic go 0-7, Chelly?
I'm picking LAG to win this.
You know, I'll go Sam. Go Sam, and then I'll go Sam. Since you said that, go first.
I'm picking LAG. OpTic is fucking. They have the yips per match, bro. If they play well against LAT, I'll pick them to win this series. If they get 3-0 by LAT, I'm picking LAG to win.
That's good. I like that.
I mean, they have the yips in matches, bro. They can't buy one. Literally, they look like they don't know what the fuck is happening on the map ever. Any of them, all 4.
I mean, does everyone agree? Cap
No,
and
I'm
Chelly?
picking OpTic.
But
I was
LA
waiting for. Chelly looked like he had something to say, so I was waiting for him. But I'll just say I got OpTic winning this. I'm pretty out on OpTic, but at the end of the day, I can talk myself into those 4 players winning. LAG, I can't. They're so bad. They're so bad.
What do you have this year? What's the map count, you think, Cap?
3-1.
Chelly, what do you think?
Map 5. The issue is like, I mean, no. Oh my God, what are they gonna play? A red card or something where nobody gets hill time again, just like Miami Part 2.
Probably.
Like, I don't know how you can confidently say either team's gonna 3-0 the other right now. It's just like, well, they take turns choking, and it goes to 5. That's literally the only way I can see this series playing out. Again, could surprise us. Take a map off Thieves, right? I mean, they could surprise us in shots. He could have been spewing absolutely great prop, and they could take a hard point from Thieves and maybe a Surge, and all of a sudden we got a weird series. Listen, I'm tired of having that conversation. This team is no better than LAG in my eyes right now. This goes 5, and it's a toss up at that point.
Spit, bro. Yeah, Chelly.
I just think if it goes 5, I gotta take OpTic because I just think like as bad as OpTic is, you gotta think OpTic's got more SNDIs than LAG.
They can't
does.
buy a map win, and we're confident in them to win a game 5.
Well, but LAG's only won 1 fucking series, and that was
How many
against
maps of LAG won this
Miami's.
stage?
How they want to get 5?
How many maps of LAG won this stage?
Like 6.
I'll tell you right
More
now.
than
Count
OpTic.
the Falcons. Well, yeah, Falcons.
Wow.
3.
They have won
OpTic
6.
have none.
They won 6 maps.
I almost forgot, Sam. Thanks.
6 maps, and OpTic, yeah, on 15.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
OpTic's not in last place, bro. You gotta tip that.
well, because
Oh,
they haven't
five's better
lost
than
6 a 6 map yet. That's a 6 match yet. That's why.
0-5s are better than 0-6, man. Look at them.
But if they get their 0-18 map count, I can assure you they'll be bottom of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one could be gritty, but I'll take. If it doesn't end in 5, I got LAG. If it goes to game 5, there's no way the LAG clutch this one up, bro.
My God, there's no way. Holy shit.
No way. Those guys have no S&D ice right now.
Did you watch Kenny's? I mean, he was playing for the freebie, and he was just trigger discipline. But I mean, damn, bro, everything they do is just wrong at this.
All
point.
bad.
Like, I love that play from Kenny, by the way. Like, I don't hate the trigger discipline. He waited a little bit too long.
No, he made the right play.
But he made the right
Just
play.
absolutely bottled it.
Nothing can go right for them. Like, it's tough to watch, Ben.
Agreed.
I agree that whole situation is yikes. All right, Sunday. Let's talk quick predictions for Minnesota versus Vancouver. Again, potentially Minnesota might get in on 3 and 4. We just don't know how tiebreakers will play out. But this could be one that doesn't matter, or it could be one that Minnesota has to win. And for Vancouver, they'll already be in winner's bracket likely here. But they are already in winner's bracket. The seed will be locked.
I got Minnesota 3-1.
Ooh.
And I again, this isn't the proppy. This is just a map set thing. Vault gets in. I think that's rock. You don't want to play rocker on Vault HP. I think it 100% gets in here. Vancouver should be in a good enough spot. Why? Because I think Vancouver should be in a good enough spot where they want to square up before the major to make sure. You don't think so?
Vancouver is not good enough to chow.
Bro, we gotta drop the idea of testing maps, bro.
This isn't a test.
You want to win.
This is like, Vancouver's also really good at Vault. So like, why wouldn't you want to play a team who also is really good on Vault?
But if you're really good at
they
other
want
maps,
wins.
you'll just play them on the maps they physically
They're playing to win this
cannot
series,
win.
bro. They're not LAT. They're not playing to like test map pool. They're trying to win every series as best they can. There's no shot in hell that there's a single vault in this series.
I think Chelly, it depends on what is Vancouver's seeding situation going in this match. Like if they're 100% locked in the third or whatever seed and this shit doesn't matter, then maybe let's get some reps on something like that. But if there is some but if there's an ability but Cap, this is the only scenario I'm giving. If this match does not matter, win or lose for them, then I can see them thinking about it. Even though, again, like I think they still want to play to win. But if their seed is in question, considering their statue, they should be trying to get the best seed possible for the major.
Like
so.
I'm arguing the contrary. Based on my LAT argument earlier for the vaults, I think Vancouver's just trying to win every series that they play right now. I don't think they have a pretty good map pool. Nothing jumps to the top other than that Hossie control. I don't think there's anything that like immediately jumps to mind where they're actively avoiding it. I don't know if they're going to value a vault rep against the best vault team in the game with like potentially a seed on the line.
Let me see, what are their vetoes so far this stage? Okay, so they may get in, and here's why. This is Vancouver Surge's stage 2 record, including picks and bans, and they banned Skyline in 6 of the series. So they seem to have a Skyline auto veto, and that will open up Vault getting back in because they're willing to play it.
That's fine because Skyline auto veto works against most teams, to be honest.
So maybe they go away from it, maybe they don't. They've banned Ricard twice, don't think they're doing it against Minnesota, and they banned Hacienda. I don't think they're doing it against Minnesota.
Minnesota's a good Hossie team.
I was about to say, actually, Minnesota is a good Hossie team, but I don't know.
I might be in.
They played Skyline a grand total of 0 times, so you got to think that's weirdly their worst map.
I don't ever remember that.
How is Skyline
Maybe that's
their
what they
worst map?
test.
How did they not play Skyline with Neptune?
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking the
Hey,
same
now
thing.
thinking that through, that's actually kind of odd.
Like with Charlie Hicksy, yeah, fuck yeah, get Skyline the
Jesus.
fuck out of there, bro.
Oh my god. Holy fuck.
Yeah, you would think with their team that would be a...
No, seriously.
Maybe that's almost a signal that they are a good team because they don't like playing Skyline. Maybe that's almost like it almost tells you.
FaZe, Thieves, none of these guys like Skyline.
Random, dude.
I mean, I think those teams will play Skyline. They don't actively get away from it. It's just, it is what it is. FaZe have played it 5 times this season. Thieves have played it 7. 7's actually...
The higher end, right?
Higher end, there's a couple of teams that have played 10 times. Rocker 10 times. Carolina 11. OpTic 10.
Falcons
LG
25.
11. So actually, they're below. Actually, they're below the average on that. They're probably half the league's played it 10 or 11
Falcons
times.
is dragging that average. Fuck.
The team that's played the least amount of times this season is Vancouver. They've only played it 4 times.
Interesting.
So, bit of weird. I don't know. Maybe
that's weird. They don't
you
like
never
it
know.
with
Maybe
Nev. They're just getting away from it with Nev. That's interesting.
well, they've been away from it the whole time. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't. They played
Maybe
it
they
4
just
times
never
last
figured it
stage.
out.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't
Falcons have. Maybe we should stop cooking Falcons for not figuring it out. Maybe it's hard.
Yeah. Okay.
My Falcons cope.
Atlanta C9 last match on Sunday. I'm actually excited for this one because I don't know what to expect from C9 at this event. They were looking pretty good online. I've had a couple of speed bumps. Recently lost to Thieves in Carolina, but those are quality teams. Can they notch one in their belt against an Atlanta FaZe squad that we have seen kind of fumble the bag at times on matches like this at the end of the stage that for them doesn't matter.
This is a map pool series.
Yeah.
This is a map pool series. Does FaZe give C9 Hossie card point control or search? Because they just played it against Boston and they did not look good. So do they want another rep?
Ooh.
Or do they just try to beat C9? Because if I'm them, I'm trying to beat C9.
The Hossie hardpoint thing is weird because so many of these 4 losses were like winnable. Only one and then 1 or 2 of them. One was a blowout. 2 of them were really close, and 1 of them was a complete toss. So it's not like they suck on the map. It just inexplicably like they just don't. They have a hard time if they don't control P2 time. They have a hard time winning the map off of the other 4 hills.
Yeah. I don't know what FaZe do because C9 are very good at Hosty in every game mode. And I'm kind of drawing the comparison to last year with OpTic FaZe matchup with the high rises. So now this year with LAT FaZe, LAT likes Hosty. They don't prefer it, but they're okay to play it. Is there a situation where matchups specifically how OpTic had to get good at Hosty, so they played it against everybody that was good at high rise, or had to get good at high rise, so they started playing it against everybody? Is there a situation this year where they have to play Hosty against good Hosty teams to get the reps for LAT for the search and hard point? I think they're fine in control off the top of my head. I think they won it twice in finals. I think they're fine there. But the hard point in the search specificically.
If they're confident on Vault, then no. If Vault is iffy, and again, they've been pretty FaZe's Vault record to split 3-0 on Vault Hardpoint, 1-1 on Vault S&D, and they have not played a Vault control yet. I don't know if the control really matters because they're also a pretty good Hosty control team as well. It's just a search hardpoint. If they're confident on the Vault square up against Thieves, because Thieves are not going to probably play them on Protocol, and Red Card will be the other map in that series, it's fine. But
There's Vault squares across the board.
yeah,
Man.
That's what I'm thinking for this C9 series specifically, what they end up doing. I think this is a really good series, personally. I know, I was super high on C9 our last episode. I thought that they were going to beat Ravens, and they got fucking slammed. So I don't know where would you guys put C9 right now? Like what's your overall thoughts? I don't know where to put them.
top 6, but it's possible they're somewhere between 3 and 6. I just don't know until the end of this event.
No, they're not third.
Vancouver, yeah, I think
I mean,
Vancouver's third.
C9 could be third by the again. Vancouver
Also,
off to a
Ravens
hard
are
start
better
this
than them,
split, but we guys, how many times have we seen this, man? Where a team like C9 continues to get momentum, and they might back into a good event placing in Vancouver, might lose a series to them and lose a bracket. I don't think it's entirely out of the possibility.
It's possible for sure, but right now Vancouver's definitely the better team.
That'll give you guys. I think I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this C9 roster right now.
What
I think
happened to
they're just-
Mac?
What do you mean?
Well, I think
Like he's not really. I guess he kind of just really cooled off. Like I don't know. I guess Krempy's from. I don't know. That's what I've noticed every series I've watched is just like Mac consistently, like him and Krempy. He's not really keeping up with Krempy's pace or whatever it is.
I feel like he's regressing into that Seattle version of himself a little bit.
Conte stepped up too.
That's what I'm saying. I think his whole team is starting to play better, so he's starting to slouch back into that. Let me gap fill.
I don't know. These stats are not as bad as you're making out, bro. Max up's a 0.95 at hard point. I think
He's had a couple stinkers though, dude. I was in the same boat as you, Ben, and then I went back and looked. He's had a couple fucking
the minor
stinkies.
tournament wasn't good, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really counting Gentlemate's series with all due respect.
Can you see his matches before this? Because the Gentlemate's Boston series were just
I'd have to go way back.
they were just team slaughters. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like that doesn't.
Unfortunately, on breaking point, it's still a little bit. It doesn't go
That's
farther
why,
back than 5 matches.
that's why I have the opinion that he's starting to regress into that old version because, again, Sib has been fucking insane. By the way,
Yeah,
I'm gonna gas
so
out
good.
really quick. Since the major, brother, he has been fucking disgusting. Attach is playing good COD again. He's super soaking, just kind of gap filling, dropping 1.0s, kind of where he needs to be. And Kremp's been their best player. That guy's top 10. He's been disgusting the whole season. So I feel like once his AR started to step up a little bit, I feel like Mac kind of regressed a little bit into that old role that he had instead of kind of bash broing with Kremp how he was at the beginning of the year. I think it's pretty evident, at least now that I've been paying attention more to it for their series.
I think the key thing for C9, what we've seen in the losses they've had this split, is it feels like once the momentum doesn't go their way, they can't regain it. It doesn't seem like in these series they've been able to hit another gear and force it to 5 and make it gritty. They've just kind of folded in these series after that something doesn't go their way. So looking for them to be more consistent, and again, if you give FaZe any outs here, they're just going to kind of wax you. But I low-key think somehow it's going to be a gritty 4 mapper, and I think FaZe will probably just clutch up, but it won't be.
Here, Ben, if you go to Mac and then you click matches instead of last 5 matches on Breaking Point,
Yeah.
and then click completed matches, you can see
I'll bet.
literally all the last.
Here, I'll pull up right now.
Okay.
I didn't actually know that.
Dude, honestly, anytime they play someone who's kind of good, he's dropping a 0.8. I mean, he's dropping a 1.0 and higher against mates, Boston and Vegas, but Vancouver, Carolina, Minnesota, Thieves, he's averaging a 0.7. So it's not, again, I just want to bring some light on it before it becomes an actual issue, because I've definitely noticed that in the matches so far.
A few ways to look at it. Every time he plays well, they 3-0. Every time he doesn't play well, they just, I guess they beat Minnesota.
But to be fair, those wins
most
against
of those are against bad teams.
Gentlemates, Boston,
That's my point.
Vegas. The
There's
Toronto one's
in
good
there,
though. Toronto one's good.
That's what I'm saying. There's different ways to look at it, but overall, I think I said this last week that Mac was like starting to slip, and it was a concern, and it only got not worse. Not like last week was terrible for him, but it wasn't like a strong bounce back like I was hoping for.
So I mentioned this last week. So this is the standings right now. And if the event were tomorrow, C9 would play Toronto Ultra winners round 1. But you got to think that Carolina is going to get to 4 wins and has a tiebreaker on them. So I won't be surprised when this is all said and done that C9 is going to play either Carolina winners round 1 or potentially Vancouver winners round 1.
Damn.
Because I don't think that C9 is going to, at 4-3, drop all the way to 7 or 8. So they should theoretically avoid FaZe or Thieves. Though I think Vancouver would have the tiebreaker on FaZe head to head. So maybe that's
because
wrong.
they beat him twice.
Yeah.
They beat
Well,
him twice this stage. Well,
only one of those would count.
Did they count the yeah, I was gonna say they don't count the minor head to head.
So yeah, whoever gets 6, if FaZe end up getting the 3rd seed and then draw them, it could be an instant rematch for C9 actually. I didn't even think about that.
Is there a win threshold for winners? No, right?
What do you mean by win threshold?
Like if you hit like 3 or 4, are you in?
400% you're in.
Okay.
This is no Matt Wade. A 4-3 with 12 teams. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make sense.
Gotcha.
3 and 4, as we saw last season with Carolina, there is a way that you get tiebreaker effed in some weird lopsided way with that. So, but I mean, looking, it is actually weird because potentially 2 teams might go over. Like you might actually have a couple of 4-3 teams, but some of these teams play each other, so it may not work out that way. Well, cool. That is all of the matches. Tommy was yelling at us to take a look at his prize picks. So for the Chelly's best segment, let's take a look at Tom's power play and see if we think this is going to hit. Right now, he's got a 4-pick power play. For audio listeners at home, I'll describe. He's got 0-4 map 1 over at 26, Scrap map 1 over at 27, Rencore map 2 over at 6, and Gwyn maps 1 through 3 over at 60. So 4 overs, Chelly. You think this is heading?
I mean, again, it does come down to maps. I like the 0-4 play, assuming we get a vault. Scrappy map 1. I don't know, man. I know, Ben, you were just talking about that one. You wanna tell me why you like that one, Ben? I saw you saying scrap more in map 1 against and
it could be vault. It could be vault or red card though.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I'll be playing them on Hasi. I don't think Protocol is going to be it. So scrap on Vault and red card should hit this. You would think. But obviously, if they slam the F at OpTic, then maybe not.
Also, the league botched not putting that match last of the day. I don't know what they're doing, not having Thieves OpTic
series.
Yeah, I don't know what the league's doing there. Rancor map 2. I mean, that's clearly just him seeing a low line and thinking Rancor's trying right now, which I don't hate. But that could be a 6-0 or 6-1 angle. Carolina on search. That's probably why it's that low. And then Gwyn 1 through 3, I do not like.
All right.
Win.
So Chelly is a hater.
I tailed this because
it's not going to hit. So if everybody wants to go let Tom know in his chat that Chelly said this shit is chalk, like
I
Gwyn's
don't like
averaging fucking 40 in respawn.
I don't like the Gwyn because the 3-0 control. It's a 3-0 on control. That's literally why. There's no other reason than that.
No, that actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. So maybe you take a Gwyn 1 or 2 in this situation.
Exactly.
But,
correct.
Well, Chelly's not a fan. There are actually specific props right now you think are undervalued that you're circling, or you want to hold back?
I mean, the big Wake one's not up yet, but they're going to put his line pretty low just because, like, they're not adjusting for how good he's been playing the last couple series. And he's definitely been using that left stick. So I love that for Gigawake. Definitely have had my eye on him. And then I'm probably going to be fading Max. So
My bad, Mac.
Nothing against Mac, but
I'm sorry.
they have a tough matchup against FaZe, and even if it's a Hossie, if it's not, he's been printing for me because I've been fading him on Hossie. But I'll fade him in any respawn at this point until he proves me wrong. It's kind of shows me.
Oh shit.
Chelly, I hate to do this, but I pulled up a tweet from you a little bit ago, and you did in fact tail this place. You sat here and said you weren't a fan, and I guess you're
Right.
just supporting the boys.
Right. This is called yeah, I want to be in the call when Tom's saying bang, bang, and I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I missed
Getting
that.
double dope because it's your bang too.
Exactly. I'd like to at least be like, let's go, because like if I'm not saying
The
let's
FOMO
go,
is severe, man.
I tip it. I
The
tip
FOMO
it.
is severe.
you know what I mean?
1-800 gambling, as Sam says.
That's correct.
Gamble
Oh,
responsibly.
cool. Any things you guys want to cover before I take some community questions? Any pressing things or topics you guys want to debate?
Don't we have
Talk about
questions?
tactical rap counting Kenny's YYs.
Yeah. What are your thoughts
That
on that,
was
Sam?
insane.
What are your
It's
thoughts on
insane
that?
hate. I love it. It's just insane hate. Good work from Rab, dude.
He just knows what's gonna get some clicks. He just knows how to game the
I love
system.
it. He knows what he's doing.
I will say I'm gonna just kind of do the Ben J political thing. The upside for Rab is like
Yeah, get your MAGA hat out.
upside for Rab is he gets a lot of views for videos like that and just leaning into like what's popular right now, which is hating on Ken when hating on OpTic.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
The
That's what I was
only-
saying.
The only thing for Rab, because he's in the like watch party business and like in-event content creation business, you know, once you take enough shots at OpTic, those type of
Your name
opportunities are
gets
just
taken off those lists.
yeah, you remove yourself from the access in those situations. Not that I think that he cares, but that's just the one way that kind of usually goes down. So, but I don't think he cares about that. I think he's got a YouTube channel to continue to support and grow, and you know he put out the content and people were talking about it. So whether or not we think it's good or bad content, I think it's kind of, you know, he's getting a lot of views for it.
There you go. All
He's getting the views.
publicity is good publicity.
So something like
I
that.
love a good clip farm, and I actually one of my buddies who got me into COD like 5 years ago, huge tac rab guy. I don't watch a lot of his videos, but they have been popping up on my YouTube quite recently just because of all the OpTic in the thumbnails and in the titles. So he's no idiot. I mean, tac rab's a smart dude. I'm sure he's just baiting the fuck out of the green wall right now because they're easy pickings. So can't be upset about that.
You'll see how many fucking OpTic videos this guy's made.
Dude, it's
I'm gonna go count his last 10.
I should pull it up because it's actually nuts.
4,
It's
5,
insane.
6, 7, 8. Oh my god. It's actually 8 for 10. This guy loves it.
Here, let me pull it up on stream so you guys can see.
Shotsy, Scumps. Shotsy, Scump. Shotsy. Shotsy,
actually
OpTic,
so
OpTic,
bad,
OpTic. Let's
Yeah.
go, Rab. Let's
Bro, there
fucking
should be a
go.
limit on how many times you can use
Let's go,
Shotzi's picture.
Rab.
He just posted another OpTic video 6 minutes ago. Shotzi
5 minutes ago. Shotzi responds to the green wall frustration.
yeah.
I love
I mean,
Rab,
it's just
bro.
it is what it
I
is, man.
love it.
He's got a channel to support, but
I
again, like
love it.
it doesn't come without its cons, and you know those might start. I mean, I know OpTic's already commented on stuff with Rab before, so we'll
Let's do
see.
some community questions, man.
Yeah, I got 3 community questions picked out. These ones are pretty good. And as always, appreciate people that respond to the tweets. Like we can't cover all of them. We covered already some of them throughout the show that you guys sent, but let's get into it. First one, and I see Lloyd Christmas in the chat, but this is his question here as well. Who do you guys think is the MVP as of right now? He added this color around this time during stage 1. Most people said it was going to be Dashy Shotzi. Crazy how things change.
It's either simple
Scrap.
scrap.
Oh,
Yeah. That's all I was going to say. It's either simp or scrap right now for me. What do you guys think?
Simple
Simp for
scrap.
me. I go simp.
I think if LAT win the event, it's scrap.
yeah, if right now you have to pick Simp because they won the event, but one of them.
Agreed.
This
I
is
just climbing back into it too if he starts super frying win an event.
they're both having excellent stages right now, I will say, for the record.
Yeah.
So I think this one could be another one where the two of them duel it down the stretch. And maybe Paco squeezes away into that conversation. He's starting to have a pretty good stage, but Scrap's having an unbelievable one. He's above a 1.1 KD in like every game mode, and the per 10 stats are also really good. So
My neck, dude. Let's go.
Riley in the chat makes a good point. We need to have a talk about MVP. It should be most valuable, not best overall player. There should be 2 different awards. I kind of agree with that, Riley, but then this is like,
Simp's
It
still
happens in pro
MVP.
sports. Like then we have a debate on what valuable means.
Simp's still MVP. He does literally everything all the
Yeah.
time. He plants bombs. He caps control points. He fucking soaks hill. He drops a 1.2 and he rotates. What the fuck else do you want?
Riley, I
Most
disagree.
valuable is Neptune.
Riley said most valuable is Neptune. I disagree. I think it's Simp.
The answer is Simp. If you take Simp off of FaZe, they have to completely change their entire dynamic as a team. Granted, you do have to do that with Net, but they also have team success.
I think the way to look at it would be if you put Simp in Neptune's spot, Riley, does Vancouver get better? I would have to assume we all say yes there.
Yes, they would.
Well, yeah, you could say that about anybody. Almost anybody.
But
Neptune comeback player of the year, Sam Darnold. Like, I think similar vibe.
100% he would win that award right
Sam
now.
Darnold, huh? What do you think about Sam Darnold, Chelly?
Oh, here we
All right, before the playoffs, bro, and that one Lions game that broke him.
Listen, Sam, you went double donuts in a series. He had a stinker in the playoffs. It happened.
Yo, what the fuck?
It happens. We move on, Sam. We shouldn't hold people to it, man.
I'm about to start asking for bread for this podcast.
Bro, just pulled up the double donut. I don't even
I'm about
know
to
where.
say
No, because he said
bread
this.
per
He's going at
episode.
Sam Darnold's fucking neck,
My
bro.
billable. I'm about to hit you with my billables, Benja.
All right, bro.
This is insane. I'm here out of the love of the game. I'm about to get the fuck off.
I'm about to get. I'm about to
You
get
think I care?
invoice,
You
bro.
think I care? I'll get the fuck off right now. You think I care?
All right. We're not trying. Let's get off. All right, let's get to these two more questions. Then you can get off, Sam.
Sure.
Next question from DeAndre Mosley Jr. Dre season on X / Twitter. In recent days, it's been a struggle for players to find 8 to play some 8s, and they've basically been complaining. I guess there's nothing to stream. What do you think it'll take to get players on? And should pros start to add challengers players to fill lobbies? Sam, as a former player, your thoughts?
There's a 130 person group chat on Twitter. So the amount of people is not the issue. It's the desire to play the game. And you can't change that. That's a player thing. I'm in that. I'll actually tell you how many people's in there because I'm still in that DM.
Didn't they? Scrap was like, and this is why the game's fucking dying or whatever. I think I saw a clip of him. He's like, nobody wants to play 8s tonight. Caesar, it was Caesar and Scrap and a
There's
call,
only
so
82 people in here. Maybe if there was over 100, there'd be more 8s. There's a lot of people in here last night, though. They got them going last night.
I think
Exnid, King, Max, Scrap, Caesar,
Yeah,
Real, Shotzi, Reese. They're getting it going
Similar,
this
I
time.
mean, it's the same people every.
Oh yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same people.
so
The same group of 20 that want to play. So
Yeah.
The difficulty, like last night, is that a bunch of the challengers players that they like to play with are still in the elite, and those guys are playing till like 11 p.m. last night. So normally those guys would get in there, but I know that they're usually also a little gatekeepy about sometimes what amateur players they want to let in.
Pretty much.
So I think it'll probably. I'm curious what will happen after the event if it's going to pop off, but like it ebbs and flows 8s right now. So
I would assume once challenger players get picked up to they usually play 8s. Like their conversion rate's pretty high. Once you get picked up to the league, you tend to get in that DM pretty quick. So I would assume once the challenger event happens and players start getting picked up, that they'll probably 8s will probably kick up a little bit more.
you think, Cap? I know you're a big fan of playing 8s and also spectating 8s. So
8s are great.
Ice cream and hands stealing everything.
Good practice outside of your normal scrims. I just think a lot of people are just complacent. Don't have the passion anymore.
Cap was king milking spectating 8s and turning a stream on back in the day.
Vanilla ice cream in hand, spectating 8s, stealing everything.
Chocolate ice
Great
cream.
meta.
Chocolate ice cream
chocolate,
in hand,
never vanilla.
spectating 8s,
Great
stealing
meta,
everything.
Cap. Great meta.
Cap and Sam, I got a question for
Also
you
played a
guys.
lot of 8s, but you know.
That is true. That's true.
Do you guys think every OpTic player should be grinding 8s right now? Like no excuse, they should be in every time that there's an 8s lobby, they should be wanting to play.
I think asking them to be in every time
Okay, you know what
is
I
a
mean.
little
though.
extreme, but like
I haven't seen them in. I've
Put
only
in some effort to
8.
play the game.
they should be putting in an effort to play the game more than they are.
Agreed.
I think everybody but Ken, I think, has played a decent amount of 8s. Amp seems to play them every night. I've seen AG in them a bunch. I think Brandon's played them a bunch and played S&D Chalice. I think it's just Ken.
Yeah, Ken's never really played extra COD for the most part, at least as far as I've known him. I'm the same way. I really never played the game that extra, except in like recent memory MW2 when I was dog shit at Surge. I played a lot of Surge 8s. Granted, it helped and I got a lot better, but I never really
Crazy.
played the game extra.
It's not a
Fuck
one
you,
size
that
fits
works.
all.
Fuck you.
We were just talking about Simp, and I know
Fuck you.
Chris Simp does not
Yeah,
play,
he doesn't play
that
8s.
much 8s. So
there was a clip of Scrappy saying, if I was on OpTic and in these guys' shoes right now, I am putting down my phone and I'm going on a 3-4 day vacation and just getting rid of this mental block or whatever it is. Is that the solution, you think, for these guys? Just getting away from it and just trying to hit the full reset? Or is it they need to actually play the fucking game?
What you
And
mean, like just actually
It's
like
the-
going completely going away from
That's-
everything for a
It's the
couple days?
Clayster.
Strat-
That's the
literally what
Clayster
Strat
strat,
said.
bro.
That's
Cap,
literally
Go on
that's
an
the-
ayahuasca fucking journey into the
Yes,
forest.
dude, go
like-
on a boat or whatever you got to do. Just get away from anything remotely close to COD and just hit a full reset.
It worked.
I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that works these days. You get your day off on Monday after matches, and then those next matches come fucking quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 3 real days of practice until your matches start again. Like you gotta put in extra time.
You get 3 real days of practice anyway for the whole fucking week that doesn't involve a warm up nowadays.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
But
You
it's
get
like, you haven't won a map in 4 weeks. Like, what practice at this point?
They're
Like-
doing well in scrims.
Oh my
play the game more, play more eights, play more like play more S&D. Like it's just
8s ain't practice, guy in chat. Fuck me.
I mean,
eights
listen,
are good
me.
practice.
To back
Just
Cap
fuck me
up,
right
there is a
there.
time and a
Just
place.
Fuck me, Chelly.
There's a time and a place where people
8s
know,
ain't practice.
there
Like,
were people that like Clay that used to do that vacation meta and it worked for them. But I agree.
vacation meta.
The schedule is too compressed now to pull that maneuver off. Pull this red card clip. I know that there's something going on with you right now about snaking.
Oh my god, snake drama.
Oh yeah, we should watch this clip. I see what's going on.
Yeah, Tyler Fellow posted. Twitter.
Yeah, there's apparently some beef with Katana and them snaking. And,
That's
Let me
egregious.
see.
yeah,
Hold on,
I'll run
let
this
me
back.
post
Sam, I believe this is a red card offense.
I thought you were allowed to snake in challengers. Am I faded for that?
It's G8 amongst a lot of the teams, but I
it.
clearly.
Oh my god,
in this
Cobra doesn't
case-
give a fuck. Get him in the league now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
That's
he's-
Cobra
egregious.
doesn't give a fuck.
There's
Vortex is 30 and 14. Is he snaking?
to some real snakes right
Oh my
here.
god,
my
he's snaking
God.
now again. That's
Yeah.
dirty.
There's
Nah.
some
Oh,
beef
guys,
going on
this
here. I've
isn't
seen
that
this on
bad.
Twitter, but yeah, there's some shit going on there.
I think this is debatable. It's okay though.
Debatable. Okay.
Nah, I'm hating on Cobra now because of that. Unless he has good reason to be snaking those guys, like they snaked him.
Good for him.
That's
Get him on
egregious.
LAG.
I saw some
His name is
conversation.
Cobra, JKap.
There's some beef or something going
Good
on.
point,
Good one.
Octane.
Last question, and then we'll close it out
myself.
here from Robert Hoodie Rob 23. What would you personally value? This, I guess, more of a Cap, same question. Cap, I'll let you go first. What would you value more? Just winning champs in a year or multiple majors in a year?
Champs.
Champs at it.
Yeah,
The answer is always champs.
I figure that's the one that people remember. People don't remember some random major.
I think there's a trade-off if you win like 3 majors, maybe like especially like 3 straight, you get a nice 3P. But like even then,
you're
if
gonna
you
be
win,
expected to win champs.
I was about to say, even if you do that, then
flames you for the whole season.
yeah, then you
forever.
lose champs. Just like
And then Pat wins champs. Then you're just like fuck.
that's tough. That is tough. Pat wins champs.
Bro, it's so funny because hearing Pat talk about like the LAG roster spot being cursed after he fleeced them for what was it, like 800K.
Mhm.
It's just so funny. Like I feel like it's different ownership now, right? Like fully.
Completely. The LG guys are.
Yeah, it's
100%
completely
out.
different. So like I don't know how much he could actually speak. I guess he's just saying the roster spot is cursed.
Yeah, just the actual franchise spot is cursed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
they have an event win though. Hey,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how much I agree with.
that was Slasher though. He's different. Plays the
How
Bucks.
much I agree with Pat's take on that, but
No, I was talking to Asim about their because he was on that team with Spart. Was it Spart, Slasher, Asim, and
Tyler.
Kyler.
Kyler? He said that they didn't lose like an SND. Well,
They
their
won like
SND
15 straight searches.
Yeah. And then they went
and they didn't
home.
use the bulk.
Well, it was
They didn't
weird
use the
because they had
focus one.
Spartan in the lineup because Gunless was having like stomach issues, he had some like health issues, and like so it was just a weird situation, and it just clicked for them. But I mean, this deserved event win. They won 1 million searches at that event. So SD wins championships,
They
guys.
still have
Any?
a record for consecutive S&D wins.
I think so. Yeah, I think Fades got close to breaking it
I think
once.
yeah, they were like one off and then didn't get it or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe they
Yo,
haven't. I don't know.
Oh,
Is
look,
Kyler? What's good with Kyler? Real quick before we end, this is ridiculous, bro. He
No
should be
idea,
on a
bro.
team. Like
I think he turned down at least one opportunity to be in the league.
Well, I know he turned down one opportunity.
yeah, I was gonna
I'll
say,
say it.
I know,
don't give a fuck.
I know he turned
Okay.
out one.
I'll say it. I don't give a fuck. He turned
Okay,
down
you're
one.
right. I know it. I know he did.
There you
I'm
go,
just saying, I
Cap.
think it sounded good.
What did he
There
turn
you go,
down?
Cap.
Just turned
a
down
opportunity.
one
Okay.
offer to be in the league, and then
Which in hindsight now, fuck.
I mean, yeah, but
But you guys all know what
I don't know what he's
fuck.
hoping for. I don't know what his plan was doing that. I don't know what if he's waiting to get back on OpTic. I don't know if he's waiting to get back on a different top team. So it doesn't make sense.
I don't know what he's doing. Maybe
I,
he's just hoping for like the challengers thing because he's not actively playing challengers, is he?
no, but I think he's gonna get picked up after this event.
No, I think so too. I just didn't know if he was like playing at the event or not.
Maybe he's got a pickup team, but
Yeah.
he's not playing the elite, and we'll
He'll
see
definitely
what
get an opportunity again after. I think
there's a cup this weekend, I think. So we'll see if he ends up playing in it or not. But I don't think it's anything stock wise to gain from playing in challengers other than just having fun. But we shall see what's going on there, guys. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I have one question. Could be a fun one, or we can make it quick. Because Merc and Maven started this. I think it was those, or Nameless and Maven started this with their top 5 lists. Who are your guys' top 5 of all time?
In order?
Ooh.
Yeah. You guys saw the list that they posted,
Yeah,
right?
I'll put up on
Yeah.
stream real quick while I do this.
I did this earlier on stream. I did Crim, Karma, Scump, Clay, Simp.
I think that's a good list. I think that's fair.
I had Formal at 6.
Can't even argue that.
Formal at
Here's-
8.
I saw Merc tweet about it, that's why I said him, because I got him confused. But
Nameless having Simp at 1 is fucking blasphemous.
Insane.
But I tip it.
I could see the argument for putting Simp as high as 2, but I think I had the same list as you do, Sam, just purely because Simp's career is still in progress and the other 4 are kind of done. And I think it's tough for Formal that he kind of ends up on the cut list and not making the 5, but someone was going to get pushed out eventually for Simp in this. It just is what it is.
How do you guys feel about them not being side by side, Simp and Abe? They've teamed together their whole careers.
I think Abe deserves more respect in these combos, but I mean,
But do you think they should be side by side?
not necessarily side by side. Like Abe should be like right outside this top 5.
I think I put him at like 7.
Yeah, because Simp, you just look objectively. Simp's been, I mean, Abe's been great the whole time, but like Simp's been a better more often than not.
Where do you guys have Shotzi on this on your list? I know he's not top 5.
I would have to actually do it. I couldn't even begin to fucking put him in there.
You couldn't like give me like a
10?
guess, like
I don't
top
know.
10, top
10,
15.
I mean, I'm
He's gonna be inside the 10. I
trying to
think.
think. He's got to be within the 10, right?
Yeah,
Is he?
you're gonna be choosing
Well, I
from
mean, he
people
has
like
2 rings.
Austin.
Yeah, he actually does.
He has 2 rings.
Yeah, people like Austin are gonna be in that top 10 combo. Obviously, Formal.
I think he's like, yeah, I don't know, because I don't have to actually sit down and do it. He's like maybe like 12, 13, like top in that area somewhere.
What's interesting to
lower.
me on these lists
Off the top of my
is
head.
I feel like I've always been a believer that greatest and best players are different things. Like if you're going greatest players of all time, I think Krim has to be one.
Yeah.
That got 3 rings.
The best Call of Duty player of all time, like, it could be Sim.
I think that's what I was gonna say. I think greatest, Krim's number 1. After that, it gets a little weird, but Krim has to be 1.
Yeah.
It's like he's won 3 rings. He wins, his finals percentage is insane.
Yeah,
But then if you go best, I think Scump and Simp are top 2.
Just pure talent perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I could agree with that.
Because the way I like to like evaluate best is like how many games was this player like the best player or like a top 5 player.
Yeah.
And I think Simp's getting into a territory where he is like
He's
almost
been top 3 every game
Yeah.
he's fucking played.
he has
Yeah.
almost as many top 3, top 5 titles, if not more than Scump. And I don't think anyone else is even close to like whatever that
Yeah,
number
those
is.
two.
I haven't counted in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone else even close.
Agree.
yeah
I mean,
no.
Seth goes all the way to BO1 to fucking.
BO1, BO2 probably not, but then Ghosts, AW, Black Ops 3, IW.
Not World War II.
That's probably the end of the road for Seth's top
Yeah.
3s, top
But I
5.
mean, that's like 6 years.
Yeah,
Whereas
a
Simp,
lot.
he's been around for just as long. and
Simp's
he's
on
been
year
the
6
same
of being a top 3
conversation.
player.
Exactly. So
it's-
that's a good take, Cab. I think I could agree with that.
I
Actually,
I think history will probably. I think Chris is going to end probably top 2 on this list. Whether he
yeah.
passes Krim
I
or
think
not
so.
If
is
he gets
He needs
a
another
third
champs
ring,
win.
I think it's
think. I think he has to win champs again for me to put him up there.
yeah.
Sam Cossett's come T1 all time. For Riley's in the
Correct.
chat.
Mm.
That's me, Riley Fowler, king of the cucks.
think that's a good spot to end there talking about that. Appreciate the boys hopping on. We need to figure out next week how we're going to do our pre-major show, because I'll be in Dallas.
We're
We'll
all
discuss.
home. Are we home?
What do you mean we home?
Or no, you're in Dallas, right?
I'm going.
You said
yeah.
you're in Dallas? Okay.
I'm going, yeah.
Chelly, you're
Yeah,
going to be here?
going to Dallas?
Well, I live here, so
Oh, you do live here. Or there. I'll be here. Let me
And
know
you're
what we're
going
doing.
now?
I'm going,
not
yeah.
going.
I'm going. I'm not doing, I might do some playing stuff, but I'm doing it kind of like, because Tom's.
You doing like coffee and cod? Or?
Yeah, we're going to figure it out, but.
wait. So Tommy's not coming to Major too?
Yeah, he's got some stuff that he's
got stuff
got to
going
deal
on.
with. Yeah.
Tell you what,
Gosh.
fuck
It's
you,
not.
actually,
It's not by
Chelly.
choice, unfortunately. So it is what it is. There's some things that are just end up being more important than that. So he's
Gotcha.
got to deal with that. But we will still have coverage, especially on this show. We'll record an episode next week, probably like on Monday or Tuesday. Probably get it out before Thursday.
Yeah, I'm down to do Tuesday, Wednesday,
We'll talk in the
Thursday,
group
whatever you
chat.
guys want to do.
We'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
that's
But
fine.
appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you guys watching each and every week always respond as well when we tweet out and ask for questions. We appreciate the community responses. Follow everybody on our social media platforms. We'll put those in the description of the video. If you guys have any feedback or comments, make sure you let us know in the YouTube comments what you'd like to see. We're working on potentially some partners, sponsors and partners actually coming in for the show this year. So really excited for that. And as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.